Hello, my name is Nick, and welcome to Watch This Now. Uncut Gems is a chaotic drama written and directed by the Safdie Brothers, who you should know if you've seen Good Time. Adam Sandler stars as Howard, a hustler of sorts that's really more of an addict that we haven't seen on screen really. He plays a jeweler in New York City who has everything. He's got a business, a beautiful wife, 3 children, a nice house, a nice car. He's got the works. He even pays for an apartment in the city for his mistress. But nothing is ever enough for Howard. He's constantly searching for more, whether that is placing a bet on sports or buying or selling things on the black market. He's involved in auctions. He's all over the place because this is a man who has a black hole of a heart that he tries to fill with sex, money, and success. He's really a success junkie. Like, he isn't the kind of piece of shit I thought I'd be. He has a lot going for him, but he's constantly out for more. This is the portrait of a character that I think you are supposed to hate, but the way the film is crafted, you can't help but be on his side. I have to say, I have said before that you should not judge an actor on your own personal opinion, judge based off their performances and whatnot. That being said, I'm not the biggest fan of Adam Sandler, just have to say it. I like Billy Madison and Mr. Deeds, but otherwise, I think he's one note, and his brand of comedy just isn't for me personally. So I was surprised to hear all of the good buzz surrounding his performance, and I was really excited to see it. And from the beginning, I thought that he was initially just putting on a shtick. He was just doing this voice and whatnot, but as he sustained that vibe for the entire runtime of this film, I found he truly embodied the character to the point where I forgot that I was watching Adam Sandler. I just felt like I was watching Howard, New York City hustler. It can be frustrating to watch a film where your main character is making all of the wrong moves. From the beginning, Howard is being hounded by thugs that are after him for money from all of the, bad bets he placed and whatnot. And it feels like a thematic chase of a film for the first, 45 minutes or so. Everyone is after Howard, and Howard is trying to get away from everyone. I found it really well done, the way that they set up all of the problems that Howard has to juggle, that I actually forgot about one of the main points until it came back to bite him in the ass a little bit later on in the film, and I was like, oh my god, how did I forget about that? Duh. And I feel like I am always 3 steps ahead in a movie, so to be surprised, I found really quite refreshing. The story is simple in nature, but the way that it's executed, it's like we are trying to get through this labyrinth of a minefield. There's a lot going on. The script isn't perfect in my mind, but it's pretty damn good. The only major issue that I have is that at one point, maybe a little over halfway through the film, there is a central character who just sort of is thrown out of the movie until a little bit later when they are brought back in, and it's like we go from a soap opera level of an extreme to everything's hunky-dory in a flash, and it ended up being one of the strongest parts of the film for me, to be perfectly honest, but I thought that the way that it was done was a little clunky. I liked the way it ended up going, but getting there, it was a little forced, I have to be honest, just a little forced. I think what's going to make or break this one for you is the directing style of the Safdie brothers. Things are moving at such a rapid clip, we constantly are cutting back and forth to these really close-ups on people and things. We've got people talking all over each other with background noise and music. I mean, the sound mixing on this had to be a nightmare. But I have to say, usually when I see other filmmakers trying to pull off this sort of manic style of filmmaking, I find it to be a lot. And I've heard that from other reviewers who found this to be sensory overload. They just felt like it was too much, it was a lot going on. Me, I'm like, why aren't there more movies like Uncut Gems? I need about 17,000 different things to be happening at once in order to keep me on board. So I found this very entertaining. I was watching this for a good hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half of the movie before I remembered that I was watching a movie. It is so refreshing to see something that makes me forget to critique it, because watching all of the movies that I do, being the movie lover that I am, you know it too. You just can't help but look at stuff and go, yeah, that's a lot like something I watched 2 weeks ago, or a lot like something I watched yesterday. And it's so nice to see something that feels different. Again, even though this feels very simple, the way it's done, it's like nothing I've seen else all year. I want to give a major shout out to Julia Fox, who plays Howard's mistress, Julia. She is phenomenal. This is her feature film debut. I guess the directors found her on YouTube. Shout out, hello, hey YouTube, what's up? And she was just so good. Most of her scenes are paired with Adam Sandler, and I think she's the only other character who has like the camera main focus on them besides Howard throughout the film. Really appreciated that. And she's just so good. You've got Adam Sandler operating at 110%, and she is right there with him. I was so impressed. She really reminded me of like Margot Robbie, seeing her for the first time in The Wolf of Wall Street, when I was just like, damn, who is that? Put them in everything. I really hope this acts as a launching pad for Julia Fox, because she was just such a raw, natural energy here. I just really hope to see her in more things, because she really floored me here. But speaking of inspired performances, I also have to give a shout out to Kevin Garnett, who, listen, I'm not a sports person. I don't know anything about sports, okay? Thankfully, this movie, like, explained him to me, because I didn't know he's a basketball player, but he's playing himself in this film, and his status as a basketball player really comes into play as it plays out. So I was very impressed, again, with all of this manic stuff happening all over the place, the kinetic energy of this film, with people constantly talking over everyone and whatnot. Like, it could have been real easy for him to be lost in the shuffle, but no. He rises up above it all, and he stands out, and also very real and natural. I just really love to see that from performers on screen. So much of this film just sort of felt like they placed a camera or a bunch of cameras with really zoomed up close-ups on these people and then just edited it all together. I cannot. I also have to talk about the music, because, ooh, this has a wonderful synthy score, and I love my synth music. And I hear a lot of other entertainment channels and YouTube reviewers talk about the scores they love and what stands out to them. I'm just really not a music person. Like, I am just so much more of a visual person that, sure, music's great, but like it just doesn't connect as much for me. I often find myself like just not really noticing the score, right? So that's why I say this one was really impressive, because every time those musical cues hit, I was like, ooh, yes, more of this, please. Like, Uncut Gems is truly the whole package for me. I really enjoyed this film. I had such a good time watching it. It might be a straight up anxiety attack for you. I have heard some people just talk about that, the nature of this film. I am someone who loves tension and suspense and thrills, and this movie did it all for me. I'm giving Uncut Gems a 4.5 out of 5. It is a shade below perfect for me because of, I think, part of the things that make me love it. I also feel like I won't really want to rewatch it like a lot, you know? But it is still one of the best movies of 2019, and if you've seen the trailer and you think that it's for you, I would say definitely watch this movie. It is so worthy. I loved it. I loved Uncut Gems. And I also have to, like, before I close out, just say A24, who distributed this film, they just absolutely killed it in 2019. My favorite movies came from A24. They pumped out all the good stuff. They're my favorite distributor no matter what, but this year, in a year of really good movies, there've been a lot of great movies, but not ones that have really hit, like, me personally and my kind of films that I love. But what A24 has done this year, between Midsummer, The Lighthouse, Uncut Gems, I mean, I am the farewell. I mean, I could probably go on. I wish they were, you know, Disney, but hey, that's okay. I'm perfectly fine with what they're given. This is just, I can't, I'm just like, oh my goodness, I'm like worked up over this. Thank you so much for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it. Feel free to like, subscribe, share it with your friends, hit the comments below to let me know what you thought of Uncut Gems, and stay tuned, and I'll see you in my next video.